I don't feel he's overrated, but I think some people do. Now, but I think some people might get that twisted with Jim Cornette of now. But the guy
Yeah.
as a manager, man, was one of the great typical managers. He had a lot of stars that he built behind. He was great as far as being that heel manager that always pulled the antics to get his guy over. And then, of course, when he got caught, he got his comeuppance. And you love to hate him. He was just one of those managers you love to say, you love to hate him. You love to see him get what's coming to him. But then when he did what he did, he was that annoying guy with that damn tennis racket coming out looking like he's looking right now. It's just man, he just looked like somebody's principal, man, that ruins everybody's fun. It's just but I feel like as a manager, um, what was his highest moment for a wrestler? Like I think that now that's the thing that maybe some people would question. Like when you look at some managers and when you look at their talent, uh, how far did they take their talent? What was the what's the word I'm looking for? What did they get out of them? What did they get the most out of them? Did they get the most out of the people that they brought up? And he's got some champions on his resume. But for me, I don't think Jim Cornette is overrated. I think he's underrated. Uh, he's good where he's at, man. He was one of those managers that, yeah, you could put him up in as one of the best.
Okay, okay. Well, much like you, man. Uh, I too am actually a fan of Jim Cornette, and I know it's funny because a lot of people, like you said, will get the current Jim Cornette and the old Jim Cornette a little twisted in their bias, whether they're for or against them. And to be fair, I mean, shit, you got some people who feel the same then as they do now. It's just Jim Cornette, and Jim Cornette is what we call in the business and in life an acquired taste. I mean, there's some shit that Jim Cornette says to this day. And I'm like, first of all, as a human with some type of compassion, and we say some shit on the GOW, but Jim Cornette, he has a way, excuse me, of saying some shit. And usually be like, damn, that's good old Jimmy. That shit came from way, way back in the day. Like
Man,
he pulled that from the ethers of his youth.
man, some of those words are banned now. You can't even.
Bro, I'm
you,
like,
I don't even think
I'm
you
like,
supposed to say some of them words nowadays.
bro, I'm talking backwoods, way over yonder type shit.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah, boy, my boy went way left. And the face turning red too. Why? Well, damn,
Bro,
calm down, Jimmy. Breathe.
but
Shit.
I would say to me, especially as a wrestling journalist, at least we like to fancy ourselves that, and members of the wrestling media. I think that's kind of why I like Jim Cornette. I mean, okay, let's go back to his managerial duties. Absolutely, Jim Cornette, man, like you said, everything from the attitude to the gimmick to the way he dressed, coming out with the dumbass tennis racket, just everything about him just screamed like Ponzi loan shark nerd ass. You feel me?
In his mama's basement still.
Yeah, but it worked. But it worked. And that was the thing. Like, it was so bad. It was good. And let's face it. Okay, does Jim Cornette say some things, man, that you might not agree with? Does he say a lot of shit that may be, outdated or politically incorrect? Sure. But you can't disregard, man. It's not always the message or the messenger, but it's the message itself. And I think that's where a lot of people get it twisted. Jim Cornette, man,
He's from a
he
different time.
says a lot of shit, but he knows a lot of shit. And
Yeah.
I feel like again, you got to separate the message from the personality because a lot of it is also this is the entertainment business, man. These are carnies in real life. Jim Cornette, man, he's going to be a little overly animated, and he took that character and he incorporated that, into the media member he is now, to the podcaster he is now. But going back to Jim Cornette, man, I agree with you. I definitely feel like he's not overrated. He's actually, up there. I know a lot of people will probably disagree, but a lot of people will agree. So with that, sir, I would give you that.